Greetings, my name is Myles, the Cleveland Cyclist, and welcome to my blog. Today is March 22nd, 2022. Now that springtime has finally gotten here, decided to take my road bike out for a ride and test out the new wheels that I purchased around the end of December last year. I'm regretting that I didn't take the bike out yesterday when the weather was really nice, because today the temperatures ended up being a lot colder than I expected. So I do feel a bit underdressed for the weather. Should have worn my other shoes because they have insulation in them to keep my feet warm. But it's not too bad, just my toes are frozen right now. So it makes it really difficult for me to walk when I'm off the bike. But when I'm on the bike, it's not really a big deal. I did have the presence of mind to wear my arm warmers and bring my gloves with me just in case, because I had a feeling when I stepped outside and saw that it was really windy this morning that it was probably going to be cold. And the worst part is the temperatures are supposed to get even colder the rest of the week, so today is probably the last day this week I can get in a ride on my bike. Probably for the rest of the month, actually. Because they're talking more snow and temperatures dropping down into the 20s. And I don't know when we're going to have another 50-degree day. Probably in April. So yesterday I ended up doing a little over 52 miles on my ride, and it took me about 3 hours and 30 minutes to complete the ride. So not exactly my best time, but considering it's been months since the last time I've gone out on one of these rides, it's to be expected that I would have gotten slower. All things considered, I actually did better than I expected. Don't know if it has anything to do with the new wheels that I purchased, but I wanted to give you my impressions of the wheels. So this is the bike that I rode yesterday, the Salsa Warroad. I purchased this bike last year in March to replace an aluminum road bike that I've been riding for almost 3 years. So I've had the Warroad for a year now. It costs twice as much as my previous bike, and with the new wheels, it's now 3 times as much. If I'm being honest, I can't say the Warroad is really an upgrade over my previous bike. I would say that I wasted my money, but the bike did come in red, which is my favorite color. And I actually prefer the geometry of this bike over my previous bike. The Warroad does seem to fit me better, and this is most noticeable when I'm riding in the drops. But enough about the Warroad. I'm saving that for another video. Let's talk about the wheels. So these are the Bontrager Aeolus Pro 51 wheels. They're not quite a deep section wheel at 51 centimeters deep, but pretty damn close. However, they do have some of the benefits of a deep section wheel, and unfortunately some of the drawbacks. I wasn't exactly looking for a deep section wheel when I decided to purchase a new wheel set. I wanted something lightweight and stiff. Deep section wheels tend to be heavier. Fortunately, the Pro 51s are the lightest wheels I own, so I'm not paying a weight penalty going with a deeper section wheel. However, the drawbacks I was talking about, these wheels can be affected by crosswinds, and yesterday it was very windy and I was being pushed around quite a bit, which is something that never happened before. I especially needed to be careful going downhill when I'm coming up on turns. If I steer too aggressively, I can feel the bike starting to tip over. Needless to say, these wheels kept my heart rate up. I'm surprised at how these wheels performed on climbs. I was not expecting to see improvement on climbs, and yet I don't need to go into as light a gear when I'm climbing. I was able to test this out yesterday when I decided to climb Pumpkin Hill, which runs through the center of Chagrin Falls. It has to be one of the steepest climbs in Geauga County, and anytime I try to climb that hill, I have to go into my lightest gear. Except for yesterday. I was able to climb the hill in my 25-2 cassette and my 34-2 small ring. Now, these wheels do take some effort to spin up from a dead stop, so I don't get that quick acceleration that I like, which really helps on steep climbs. However, once I get these wheels spinning, they do carry momentum and I get faster acceleration going downhill, which can be a little scary when approaching downhill turns because I'm not used to accelerating this quickly. It is something I'll have to get used to, but so far my impression of these wheels, I like them. I was hoping these wheels will help me conserve energy on longer rides, and although throughout my ride yesterday there were periods where I was getting tired, I kept recovering and getting my strength back. It does appear these wheels are exactly what I needed to improve my performance. I still need to work on my fitness, however, but that is easier said than done. Anyway, I look forward to future rides on these wheels to see if they really help improve my performance. Until next time, this is Chad Myles, the Cleveland Cyclist.